This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good night, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for January 3, 2023. And in the news tonight, major probe underway into cocaine bust at the Norman Manley International Airport. A major investigation is underway into the circumstances surrounding the seizure of 12 kilograms of cocaine at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston on Monday. The police say about 7 a.m. during routine security checks, anomalies were detected on a suitcase destined for the United States of America. A search of the luggage yielded the illicit drug with an estimated street value of US $600,000. The owner of the suitcase, who is a national of both the US and Jamaica, reportedly fled the airport but was later held during a manhunt in the Kingston 6 area. He was arrested for reasonable suspicion of breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act. However, his identity is being withheld pending further investigations. Mom and the son found dead, suspected to have been killed New Year's Eve. Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of a woman and her son after their bodies were found with what appeared to be gunshot wounds in Providence District near Homewood in Christiana, Manchester on Tuesday morning. Relatives identified the woman as 52-year-old Althea Rowe and her son as a 35-year-old Cleon Palmer. Police theorized that the two were killed on New Year's Eve. Relatives told the news that they became concerned after multiple attempts to contact Rowe and Palmer were unsuccessful. A police source said shortly after 11 o'clock, a relative went to a house in Providence and found the bodies. The news understands that Rowe, who worked at a bar in the corporate area, was visiting her son at the time of the incident. A police source said Palmer was wanted in connection with shooting incidents in Manchester.
My sister was a good person. I don't know how it seemed to me like she did the wrong place at the wrong time. Because it's sad to notice she really coming at this. And if my sister did call me and tell me, say, she had to move from where she did live, come up here, I'd tell her, don't come here.
Is this area like a bad area or just
I don't know if it's a bad area, but from me come up here since morning, I don't like the place. I would never live up here, so. No, I would never. I don't know how she come up here and come stay overnight and causing death. It's really sad. Really, really sad. But I just left everything in God's hand because nobody knows what happened. Only the dog can tell because the dog, at the door you sit down, I guard the body them. Only the dog can tell, nobody else. So I don't know what go down. But I know my sister is come up here at the wrong place at the wrong time. It caused her death. It's really sad.
Mandeville couple found dead in suspected murder-suicide. Police are now on the scene of a suspected murder-suicide involving a couple in Bonita Crescent in Mandeville. Relatives named the deceased as Stephanie and Ricky Ellis, both in their 40s. The news understands that the wife was employed as a loans officer at a financial institution in the parish. The husband operated a taxi for years. A senior police source told the news that about mid-afternoon on Tuesday, the police, in probing a missing persons report after the woman didn't turn up at work, went to the couple's house where the woman was found with a wound to her forehead. The man was subsequently found hanging from a scaffold. Grieving relatives are now on the scene. 2 men arrested after shotgun and the cartridges found in Crocus bag. 2 men have been arrested for possession of a prohibited weapon and possession of prohibited ammunition following a seizure on Juno Crescent in Maypen, Clarendon on Friday, December 30. Reports from the Maypen police are that about 10:45 a.m., a joint police-military operation was carried out in Juno Crescent in the parish. A search was conducted and a 112-gauge shotgun and the 612-gauge cartridges were found to the rear of the premises wrapped in a crocus bag. The occupants of the dwelling were taken into custody, but their identities are being withheld pending further investigations. Golding wants Zozos to feature in Vale Royal talks. Ahead of the resumption of the Vale Royal talks, opposition leader Mark Golding is proposing that the government revisit the scope of zones of special operation as the main tool to restore order and peace in troubled communities. This is among a list of national imperatives Mr. Golding wishes to see on the agenda of the bipartisan talks. He is also proposing a comprehensive national program to engage at-risk youth and a new legislative mechanism to target known violence producers. In addition, Mr. Golding is suggesting legislation for enhanced security measures and an immediate reset of the government's engagement with the Jamaican diaspora's experts on crime and security matters. Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced last week that his administration is prepared to hold Vale Royal talks with the parliamentary opposition.
A comprehensive national program to engage youths at risk. Secondly, a new legislative mechanism to target known so-called violence producers, and we have already formulated our proposal in that regard. Thirdly, reimagining and redefining the scope of zones of special operations, ZOZOs, as the main tool to restore order and peace in troubled communities when there are flare-ups. Fourthly, we need a shared understanding of the specific objectives of the proposed and long overdue legislation for enhanced security measures. And finally, we need an immediate reset of the government of Jamaica's engagement with the Jamaican diaspora's experts on crime and security matters.
Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch hopeful new Road Traffic Act will help limit fatal crashes. The Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch is optimistic that the new Road Traffic Act will help to curtail the number of fatal crashes. The new act comes into effect on February 1 and is expected to curb indiscipline on roads with the introduction of tougher sanctions for breaches. Assistant Commissioner of Police Gary McKenzie, head of the PSTEB, said that the systems are in place to bring about a significant change. Motorists have until January 31 to clear their outstanding traffic tickets and avoid penalties under the new law. ACP McKenzie said warrants will be executed thereafter for people still with tickets. When it comes on to February, we expect that if persons have outstanding tickets, those will be turned into warrants and the police will have the ability or the go-ahead to execute those warrants and take these persons to court for them to adjudicate and decide what happens, he said. Health Ministry says messages about a new COVID-19 variant are fake. The Ministry of Health has dismissed as a fake news reports being circulated on social media of a new COVID-19 variant in Jamaica. Please note that this message circulating via WhatsApp and on social media is not from the Ministry of Health and Wellness Jamaica, the ministry said in a post on its Twitter page. It said official notices about COVID-19 can be found on its social media pages and website. According to the social media report, the new variant called COVID Omicron XBB is 5 times more virulent than the Delta variant and has a higher mortality rate. The message said also that there are no cough or fever accompanying the new variant and listed symptoms of joint pain, headache, pain in the neck and upper back, as well as a pneumonia and a loss of appetite. Jamaica has recorded 3,461 deaths and 153,000 infections since the first COVID-19 case was detected more than 2 years ago. The authorities have urged the citizens to get booster shots to ensure that they do not contract the virus. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.